Oke. Mungkin ada yang bertanya tentang kalimat pasif. Oke, who is the presenter for today? Untuk hari ini siapa? Halo.
Unit 3 ya hari ini apa?
Hari ini
Unit 4, Pak.
Unit 4
3
ya,
kemarin.
unit 4. Oke, unit 4. Siapa sekarang? Halo, untuk bagian unit 4.
Dari catatannya Muhammad Sarifuddin from the chat, so
Ya, mungkin dari chat ini ada. Oke, Mr. Sarifuddin. Oke, silakan untuk disampaikan. Unit 4. Mr. Sarifuddin unit 5 ya. Untuk unit 4-nya siapa ya?
Sebentar Pak. Sebentar Pak, lagi nunggu.
Oke. Ya, karena unit 4 belum muncul, mungkin Mr. Sarifuddin dulu. Nggak apa-apa ya, silakan Mr. Sarifuddin. Halo.
Hello, Mr.
Okay, are you the presenter?
Sorry, Mr. Saya kelompok 4. Mungkin saya bisa mulai. Mohon maaf, soalnya terlambat.
Oh ya, oke, silakan.
Oke, Mr. Mohon maaf, Sir. Mungkin bisa diizinkan untuk share screen.
Oke, silakan.
Apa sudah bisa terlihat, Sir?
Ya, sudah bisa. Oke.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are very happy to see you all here today. We are going to talk about periplus. Before that, let me introduce you to unit group 4, which consists of Bintang, Rico, Nisra, and myself, Rasmi. I apologize in advance to of our friends who could attend today's presentation because they were working. Okay, maybe right away. I'm next slide.
Oke, Bintang, Rico, and Rasmi ya.
And Nisra, sir.
Hah?
Bintang,
Atau?
Rico, Nisra, and
Oh, Nisa.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, what is the peripherals? Computer peripherals are hardware devices that are used to enter information, process it, and finally use the information. In short, peripheral device function to receive input, process it, and then use it in the form of an output. But if the peripheral device is not able to perform its functions, if the device is not connected or connected to a computer, the location of this device can be inside or outside the computer base. Okay, I am next slide. Computer devices that are included in peripherals. Peripherals input device that serves to enter data or commands into the computer. Meanwhile, the input device is a hardware device in a computer that has the function of providing data as well as calling signals to the computer. And then an output peripheral device that function to use data from a computer, then converts it so as to produce an output. This device is not always used, but is needed in certain situations. Peripheral storage device that function as a storage medium, maps, and extract file folders. So the natures of data storage can be permanent or temporary, internal or external, or in the form of servers or other device. Okay, and next slide. Example of peripherals. So input peripherals are further divided into three, namely one input peripheral. This has a keyboard. The keyboard is used to enter characters in the form of letters, numbers, symbols, or other special character. The keyboard is also used as a medium for user to input commands in the form of set or open document. This device is a board equipped with various character keys. And then this has a mouse. The mouse can be used as the main input device because it is used to move the pointer or cursor on the computer screen. This pointer is then used as an option for a command. In addition, there are three additional input on the mouse, namely action buttons, option, and scroll button. And the last, this has a live pen. This device is in the form of a ballpoint pen with an electromagnetic sensor at the tip. This sensor is used to detect movement patterns that are moved by the user. It can decide that the function of the light pen is to enter data with a free schema. Okay, fine. Here's an explanation from me, and maybe it will be continued to my friend Nisra. It's your turn. Hello, Nisra.
Rasmi. Yes, Rasmi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Rasmi. Can you next slide?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. The computer system is considered of hardware device, and some of these devices are also considered processing device. Different type of processing device in computer system. One is motherboard. Motherboard, this is a essential device of the computer. With the help of this device, all other devices are connected to the laptop or desktop computer. Two is the processor. Processor is an acronym for Central Processing Unit, CPU. The CPU is the computer's brain and is situated on the motherboard. We ask the computer to call to route the tutorial of anything we do on the computer, which is connected to the computer because the processing does anything we do on the computer. The computer revises the command from the program file when we choose an icon from the software and give it. Later, the computer opens the program and displays the output on the output device such as monitor. The three is RAM. RAM is random access memory, which is temporary memory that the carries out instruction and operation given to the computer system. 4 is video card. Video card is similar to graphic card, but it has a lower processing power and at graphic card. Video cards are built directly into computer motherboard, so it's like a small part of the CPU that works slowly. Okay, Rasmi, next. An output device is a piece of component hardware that requires data from a computer and then translate that into another form. That form may be audio, visual, textual, or the hard copy such a printer document. Then alpha difference get the correct of output device visual data print and such as output device example has a specific history. So here I cover specially how each device work when it become a part of technology history, popular brand and the market selling the device. Rasmi, you back to slide. Rasmi. Okay, yes. One is the monitor. A monitor consists of a screen, security, a power supply, button to adjust screen setting, and the casing that contains all of these components. A monitor displays data from a computer on a screen, so the user and interact with the data via a digital interface. To its speaker, computer speaker are hardware device that transform the signal from the computer sound card into audio. Speaker card sound is using internal the variable and different frequency according to data from the computer. This is produce sound. 3 is printer. The function of the printer is to create a copy whatever in the send from the computer to the printer printing the electronic data sent from the computer and generate a hard copy. 4 is plotter. A plotter interprets vector graphic field and draw lines between points. Okay, Rasmi, next slide. Rasmi, can you next slide? Okay, thank you. Peripherals. Device is internal or external device that connects directly to computer or other digital device, but does not contribute primary function in help to user. You as the device are to Minecraft is the hardware of software that must be present and available during the operation of computer. To is auxiliary peripheral. This is a peripheral device that is not always required, but is used in the specific situation and condition. Okay, next, Rasmi. Rasmi, next slide. Okay. Peripheral device also can now as a peripheral. Computer peripheral input the output device or input or output device, any various of device. You ask the enter information and instruction into a computer for store of processing and to deliver the process to data to human operation, or in some case a machine controlled by the computer. Such device make up the peripheral equipment of modern digital computer system. What the internal peripherals? Internal peripherals device are inside the computer case. Two is external peripherals. External peripheral devices are computer devices that are on the outside of the computer case. Maybe this is enough for my explanation about peripheral device. Thank you, and I'm giving to back Rasmi.
Okay, thank you, Nisa. So, in conclusion, this peripheral is a device that is connected to a computer to improve its function and can help. Jadi, peripherals ini semacam perangkat keras yang membantu komputer itu bisa bekerja lebih baik. For example, if we are 3D model design and don't have a mouse, it will be difficult, right? Therefore, we need a device that can facilitate use in our work. Jadi contohnya itu misalkan kita ini seorang desain 3D model gitu kan, pasti membutuhkan yang namanya mouse. Nah, mouse ini bisa dikatakan peripheras atau perangkat keras gitu yang digunakan dalam komputer. Begitupun dengan keyboard. So simply peripherals like that. Maybe that's all. Thanks for your attention, guys. I'm done, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation about the peripheral. Any question? Ada yang mau bertanya, disilakan.
Sir, maybe I can stop share screen.
Maybe you can, highlight the language focus that must be studied from this unit.
Why, sir?
Can you highlight the language focus that must be understood from this passage? From your presentation here, what is the focus of the language?
Can you translate?
Mungkin Anda bisa menerangkan tentang bahasa yang kita pelajari dari unit 4 ini. Kalau kemarin unit 3 kita pelajari tentang kalimat pasif. Ya, yang ini apa ini?
Ini tuh lebih kayak perangkat yang kita gunain mengenal kalau misalkan kita maksudnya komputer ini tidak ada yang namanya keyboard, tidak ada yang namanya mouse, bisa nggak dia berjalan dengan baik gitu. Mungkin seperti itu aja sih.
Aspek bahasa yang saya tanyakan, aspek bahasanya. Jadi kalau unit 3 itu ya bahasanya tentang kalimat pasif. Nah, untuk unit 4 ini apa?
Sorry, mungkin saya belum terlalu paham.
Oh. Oke. Jadi setiap unit itu ada penekanan bahasa yang dipelajari gitu ya. Nah, mohon itu diperhatikan ya, karena kita sebenarnya belajar bahasa gitu ya. Jadi saya bukan mengajari tentang komputer, tetapi sekali lagi ini adalah ilmu tambahan yang berguna bagi kamu. Tapi sekali lagi saya ingatkan bahwa kita sebenarnya belajar bahasa. Oke. Oke, tidak apa. Oke, kita lihat di sini computer peripherals are hardware devices. Oke, saya ingin mengingatkan bahwa ini hendaknya dibaca jelas ya. Jadi plural, ini ada devices, begitu membacanya. That are used to enter information. Oke, ini ada adverb-nya yang adjective clause di sini. Jadi devices that are used to enter information, process it, and finally issue the information. Nah, ini sudah kita lihat terapan daripada kalimat complex sentence ya. Jadi complex sentence hendaknya Anda semuanya mengerti bagaimana membuat complex sentence, kalimat yang panjang dengan penuh informasi yang dibutuhkan gitu ya. So this is the important things. Kalimat kamu hendaknya jangan lagi simple, okay. Nah, persoalannya sekarang yang belum kita bahas dari adjective clause, oke, saya terangkan sekaligus di sini bahwa kalimat ya mungkin kembali di yang pertama tadi ada slide nomor 2, tapi kembali ke slide nomor 2. Ya. Ini adalah adjective clause. Nah, di adjective clause itu biasanya nanti kalau Anda membuat tulisan karya ilmiah, biasanya lebih banyak direduksi, ya, atau namanya reduce clause. Nah, reduce clause itu biasanya konektornya dibuang. Nah, seperti ini kata that, ini adalah konektornya atau conjunction-nya, itu ditiadakan. Nah, ketika dia dihilangkan, maka R-nya ini ikut hilang, gitu ya. Jadi kata A juga dilenyapkan. Jadi langsung hardware devices used to enter information, process it, and finally issue the information. Nah, begitu ya. Itu namanya reduce clause yang memuat kalimat pasif. Nah, bagaimana kalau kalimatnya aktif? Ya mungkin kalau kalimatnya aktif, coba kita lihat di slide nomor 3, mungkin bisa ditampilkan slide nomor 3. Ya, ini perhatikan di sini ya. A peripheral input device that serves to enter data or comments into the computer. Nah, ini adalah jawaban ini, computer devices that are included in peripherals. Nah, di sini ada adjective clause, yaitu that serve. Oke. Nah, cuman kalimat predikatnya yang nggak ada di sini. Jadi a peripheral input device. Nah, kata that serve ini that-nya boleh dibuang. Oke. Ketika that-nya dibuang, maka serve-nya ini berubah menjadi aktif, jadi serving, gitu ya. Jadi maka itu namanya reduce clause. Oke. Untuk reduce clause kalimat pasif yang aktif, maka serve-nya ini berubah menjadi serving. That-nya dihilangkan, oke, that-nya dilenyapkan, maka kata serve-nya berubah menjadi aktif, begitu ya. Ya, itu sekilas tambahan untuk jadi ini kamu tambah rubah jadi serving to enter data or comment into the computer, ya, misalnya, jadi itu menjadi serving to enter, begitu ya. Nah, cuman ini perlu predicate karena ini adalah subjek kalimatnya, kemudian predikatnya belum ada di sini ya. Jadi karena ini merupakan jawaban dari ini ya. Okay, so that is about the way how to do the reductions. Ada yang bertanya barangkali tentang reduksi? Oke, untuk reduksi pada kalimat dengan adverb clause, oke, kalau ini adalah reduksi pada adjective clause. Nah, mungkin bisa di akhiri. Saya akan bukakan. Ya, ya, oke, thank you. Ya. Oke, ini waktunya kurang 2 menit ya. Kurang 2 menit, nanti akan berakhir. Mungkin ada yang tahu apa yang harus kita lakukan. Ya, misalnya di dalam condition, di dalam kalimat pengandian itu bisa direduksi, alias dihilangkan conjunction-nya atau kata penghubungnya itu bisa dilenyapkan. Ada yang bisa memberi contoh? Di dalam kalimat pengandian, kalimat pengandian kedua dan ketiga. Oke, untuk kalimat pengandian ke-1 tidak bisa direduksi. Ya. Yang bisa direduksi adalah kalimat pengandian yang nomor 2 dan nomor 3. Oke. Oke, karena tidak ada maka akan saya tampilkan, cuman ini waktunya kurang 1 menit. Ya, mungkin bisa yang ada ide bagaimana mereduksi kalimat dengan adverb clause, terutama pada conditions. Ya. Biasanya sering kita jumpai penghilangan kata if. Oke, masih ingat kalimat pengandian bentuk kedua? Ada yang bisa memberi contoh, mungkin bisa ditulis di chat. Halo? Ya, Mr. Rizky bisa memberi contoh?
Repeat the question, sir.
Huh?
I could barely hear the question. Yeah, repeat it.
Conditional sentence. Oke, tadi kita mempelajari tentang adverb. Adverb itu terbagi menjadi 4. Ada yang time, kemudian reasons, kemudian contrast, dan yang terakhir conditions. Nah, kita akan ambil dari conditions. Ya, condition itu pemakaian if atau unless. Oke, contoh bikin kalimat dengan menggunakan if.
Apa aja yang penting pakai if ya?
Ya, oke.
Alright,
Bentuk
so,
kedua.
yeah.
Bentuk kedua.
Oh.
Pengandian kedua.
Pengandian kedua.
Satu ya. Yang ke satu itu biasanya menggambarkan tentang fakta. If you boil water, or if you heat water, saya tulis ya di sini ya. If you heat water, ya, it will boil at 100 degrees. Degrees Celsius ya. Celsius. Ya, misalnya seperti ini ya. This is type 1. Oke, jadi ini adalah yang ke-1. Oke. If you heat water, it will boil at the temperature at 100 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Okay, and then the second one, yeah. The second conditions, yeah. If you talk about something that is not real, okay. For example, if you join the offline class, yeah, and then okay,
Aplikasi.
Yeah. If you join the offline class, you will, you would get clear understanding. Misalnya begini ya, if you join the offline class, yeah, you would get clear understanding about the lessons easily. Yeah, for example like this. Nah, ini kalimat ini kita berandai-andai, gitu ya. Jadi mengandaikan bahwa kalau kamu ikut kelas yang offline, kamu akan dengan mudah paham pelajaran itu dengan ya mungkin dengan mudah gitu ya. Oke, so tapi faktanya adalah kelas kita tidaklah offline tetapi online. Oke, so your understanding probably is little bit hard to get from the presentations ya. Jadi begitu ya. Kemudian yang ketiga, ya, when you talk about something in the past, okay, and the thing that was spoken in the past year is about the opposite. Jadi Anda itu membicarakan tentang sesuatu yang lalu, di mana Anda berandai-andai tentang apa yang sudah berlalu. Oke, Mr. Apa tadi? Ya. Oke, ya. Can you give the example?
Of the
Jadi
third
apa yang?
of all the second.
Sorry, number 3.
Oh.
Untuk
So,
yang nomor 3, jadi misalnya if. Can you give your sample?
right.
Okay, what did you do yesterday?
So if I have joined the class, I wouldn't miss the lesson, I guess.
Yes, okay. So if you had joined the class, the offline class, yeah, and then you would not have missed, yeah, the understandings. Yeah, for example. Okay, so this ones you would not have missed the understandings, yeah, about the lessons. Ya, mungkin gitu ya, about the lessons. Okay, so again, this is a conditional type 1, type 2, and type 3. Okay, so in condition type 2 and type 3 here, the word if can be reduced. Oke, kata if ini bisa dihilangkan. Oke, kalau dihilangkan apa yang terjadi? Oke, do you understand? Ya, contoh lain misalnya ya. If I were you, I would prefer joining the offline class. Ya, for example like this, ya. Oke, nah ini bisa kita reduksi if-nya dibuang. Oke, nah ketika if-nya dibuang maka ini berubah strukturnya, ya, maka akan menjadi seperti ini, ya, ya, menjadi were I you, gitu ya, were I you, kemudian I would prefer, sorry ini tanpa e ya, prefer joining the offline. Okay, so this is the way how to make reductions for this for conditions type 2. Then for type 3, it is similar. Yeah, the reduction will be like this. Okay, had you join the offline class, okay, and then you would not have missed the understandings. Okay, about the lessons. Okay, so this is about reductions that may be found in the conditional sentence, ya, or in the adverb clauses. Okay, jadi pengandian atau adverb clause bisa direduksi dengan cara menghilangkan if-nya, biasanya begitu ya. Alright, kita akan lanjutkan dengan pembahasan tentang noun clause. Mungkin ada pertanyaan?
Excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
I still don't understand number 3. Saya
Number
masih
3, what?
belum paham. Yang pertama kan menerangkan tentang kenyataan. Kemudian
Oke, ini berandai-andai.
ya berandai
Ya.
yang pertama
Ya,
kan kita berandaikan kenyataan gitu kan.
Ya, ini berandai-andai tentang sesuatu yang sudah berlalu. Ya, berarti ini kenyataannya adalah kamu nggak ikut kelas yang offline, gitu ya. Ini kenyataannya pada saat yang lalu, misalnya minggu lalu, itu kita nggak ada kelas offline, gitu ya. Nah, kemudian diandaikan seandainya kamu ikut kelas offline, maka kamu akan lebih paham, gitu ya. Nah, pengandian seperti itu, ya, jadi kemudian dikatakan seperti ini, yang nomor 3 ini, oke, begitu. Untuk yang nomor 2, if I were you, nah ini juga mengandaikan, tapi pada saat ngomong sekarang ini, ya, pada saat ngomong, jadi tidak tentang masa lalu, tetapi pada saat ngomong itu, Anda itu tidak ikut di dalam atau ya tidak ikut di dalam kelas offline atau tidak ada kelas offline bagi Anda. Nah, kalau aku jadi kamu, saya lebih suka gabung dengan yang offline, begitu ya. Oke, itu paham ya?
Yes, sir. Jadi
Ada yang belum
beda.
paham tentang pengandaian ini? Silakan. Ya, kalau nggak ada, maka saya lanjutkan dengan non clause ya.
Got a question,
Nah.
sir. So
Yeah.
say if I want to redact the first kalimat nomor 1, if you hit water, it will boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Kalau diredact itu jadinya water you hit atau you
Ini
hit water.
untuk yang nomor 1 itu karena ini fakta, ini nggak bisa direduksi. Ya, jadi ya seperti ini, ya.
Okay.
Ya, begitu ya.
Kalau yang if you join the offline class itu bisa direduksi.
Ya, bisa direduksi. Ya, ini tinggal dipindahkan ke depan. Ya, untuk yang dipindahkan ke depan itu ya sekali lagi ini biasanya date-nya. Did you join the offline class? You would get clear understanding about the lesson easily. Ya, begitu ya. Ya, itu secara prinsip sama dengan yang lainnya. Jadi if-nya dibuang, kemudian subjek dengan kata kerjanya itu dibalik. Seperti kalimat tanya, tetapi ingat di sini nggak boleh ada tanda tanya, gitu ya. Nggak boleh ada question mark in the end of your sentence. Oke, itu apa yang kita bahas tentang reduce clause, ya. Jadi tadi kita ini belajar mereduksi, ya. Oke, kita lanjutkan dengan non clause. Oke. Jadi bahasan berikutnya adalah non clause. Oke, just a minute.
In this video. Noun clauses are really fun but sound really scary. They're a type of form that you need to know how to use, and you're probably already using in your writing and your speaking. But if you're new to English, maybe you're making
Can you hear the sound clearly?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
a mistake in them. They're one of the most common types of mistakes that I see. Not noun clause being a mistake, but mistakes with noun clauses. So I'm going to talk to you about what noun clauses are and how to avoid the most common mistakes that I see in them. So if you know what a noun is and you know what a clause is, you might know what a noun clause is, but you might not. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. And clause is just a group of words that has a subject and a verb inside of it. A noun clause is a clause that can be used like a noun. It can function like a noun within a sentence, just like a subject or an object inside of a sentence. Let me show you. So here's a sentence or a clause. I know Josue. Subject, verb, object, complete sentence. It doesn't have to have an object, but it's a complete sentence, okay? This is a noun. It's a person. A noun is a person. I know Josue. So I can replace this noun with a noun clause. So let's look at these two sentence endings. Here I said, I know Josue, I said, I know that Josue is funny. That Josue is funny is the noun clause. It starts with the word that, which is a signal that it's a noun clause. Sometimes they look like adjective clauses, but how do we know it's a noun clause? Because it's coming after a verb and not a noun, okay? But that signals that this is a noun clause, and it's a clause because it has a subject and verb inside. Josue is. That's the subject, that's the verb. I know that Josue is funny. I know Josue. So this is one noun clause. It functions as a noun, okay? Another type of noun clause could be this one. I know where Josue lives. Where Josue lives is acting like a noun within this sentence, but it's really a clause within itself because it starts with a WH word. That's important, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Starts with a WH word, and it has a subject and a verb inside of it, and it functions as a noun. And the last kind of noun clause we can make is one like this. I need to know if Josue is funny. I'm starting with if or whether. I need to know if Josue is funny. So it starts with if, and then it has a subject and a verb inside of it, acting as a noun, but it's a noun clause. Now let me show you how these are made. Now first off, there's three types of noun clauses that we can create. The first type is the ones that start with the word that, okay? That. And then afterwards we have a subject and a verb. Now, because noun clauses act like nouns, they could be the subject of a sentence or they could come after the verb. So let me show you how that would look in both of these. That Josue is funny is obvious to me. Here, this whole thing is a noun clause acting like the subject of this sentence. So I'm just going to write subject, and then here's the main verb of the sentence. The noun clause starts with the word that, and then it has a subject and a verb inside itself, okay? Now that verb could be in the present, it could be in the past. It just depends on what time frame you want to use. Maybe you knew Josue and you're talking about him from high school and not now. That Josue was funny in high school is obvious now or was obvious then, just depends. You could change the verb tense around depending on what you're trying to say. Now here we can see the noun clauses being used at the end after the verb. It is obvious to me that Josue is funny. Here's the subject, here's the verb. It's obvious to me. What's obvious to me? That Josue is funny. Here's my noun clause, starts with that, has a subject and a verb inside of it. So one thing to notice is that we use the that noun clauses at the beginning of sentences and after verbs or after, a sentence ends, like if you're trying to say something's obvious, something's funny, something's scary, right? But oftentimes when we're using them at the end of a sentence, it comes after certain verbs. Let me tell you what those verbs are. Now, this is not all of them, but this is some of the common verbs that we use with noun clauses afterwards with the word that. So like, I think that Josue is funny. I believe that he is not. I heard that he lives in LA. I hope that that is true. I know that he works at a college. I read that he was going to become a professor. I remember that he liked studying languages. I understand that he may be applying for a new job soon. These are all really great verbs that you can use with that and a noun clause after them. Just so you know, it is also possible to take away the word that when you're making a noun clause, especially when you're talking. And I actually recommend that you take out the word that when you're talking. And when you're writing, keep it in. It's a little bit more academic. But for example, I understand that I need to submit my work on time. I understand I need to submit my work on time. See, I took the word that out. That's fine. You can do that. It's great. It's common. It's useful in speaking. It makes you talk faster. Now, here's a note on using that, which is actually grammatical. Let me show you. Imagine somebody says, here, use this. And I say, oh, yeah. I think that will work. I think that will work. You can take out the first that before the noun clause, and this that is a pronoun for what the person was talking about. It's the subject of the noun clause. So I think that will work, or I think that will work. Either way is fine. Of course, when you're writing and you have two that's, that looks kind of weird, so you could take it out. When you're talking, you take it out usually anyway. We also use that noun clauses after adjectives that describe people. This is very common. Okay, let's take a look at these adjectives. Notice all of these adjectives describe a person's state, their feelings, surprised, amazed, confused. All these words describe how a person feels, okay? You have to make sure you're using adjectives like that if you want to do this. So you can say, I'm surprised that you want to go running with me. I'm confused that you thought you had to submit your paper 1 week after the due date. I'm glad that we live close to each other. I'm proud that you have done so well at learning English. I'm sad that learning languages is just so hard. All right, so again, same thing. You can take the word that out and say, I'm sad learning languages is so hard. I'm proud you've learned English so well. I'm glad that we live close to each other, or I'm glad we live so close to each other. You can take the word that out. Okay, the next kind of noun clause that we use are the noun clauses that start with the WH or question words. Instead of the word that, they start with a WH question word. So these are the WH question words that we use when we want to make a noun clause about some information, or whether we know it or not, or who or how or why. Let me show you. I want to know Janet. Janet is a noun. We can replace that noun with a noun clause. Let's say we don't know who Janet is and we want to know who she is. I want to know who Janet is. I want to know who Janet is. Who is the WH word that starts the noun clause. Janet's the subject, is the verb. I want to know who Janet is. That's my noun clause. It's acting like a verb. So we use these WH question word noun clauses when we have a question usually, and we don't want to ask it directly. Like, who is Janet? Sometimes it's too direct to ask a question. When will you have my paper? Right? Instead, we can put that question, turn it into a noun clause, but start with something like this, like, I want to know, or I wonder, or I'm curious, something, right? Like, look at this question. Sometimes people are afraid to ask sometimes students are afraid to ask their teachers direct questions, like, when will my paper be done? When are you going to grade it? When will the teacher grade our papers, right? When will you grade our papers? And instead, they can feel better about not being too direct. And they can say, I wonder, or I want to know, here's the question word, when, find the subject, the teacher, that's what comes next. I wonder when the teacher, now we need a verb. Here's the verb, will grade. And then finish the sentence. Period. No question mark, because it's not a question. I wonder when the teacher will grade our papers. That's a sentence with a noun clause in it, but it acts sort of as a question too. Now, the biggest mistake I see with noun clauses is right here. This is a question. So when we have a question, we usually have question word order. That means you put the verb before the subject. But this is not a question. It's a noun clause. You need to put the subject before the verb. However, a lot of times students will see a question word. They will see a question word, and because they're really good at studying all these rules, they say, oh, that means I need to put subject, verb, opposite, put the verb before the subject, and they'll do this. And they'll say, I wonder when will the teacher grade our papers? And here's where you have the error, okay? Because this is not a question, it's a sentence, it's a statement with a noun clause. And because it's a noun clause, you need subject and then verb. Subject and then verb. So take that verb and put it after the subject, always. I mean, it's an easy fix, right? Let's look at another example. Okay, here we go. Imagine you want to meet with somebody to do something. So you say, okay, when can you meet? When can you meet? You could also say, I need to know, or I want to know, or I wonder when, question word first, subject, you, then the verb, the rest of the verb. I need to know when you can meet. I need to know when you can meet. Be careful not to say when can you meet. That's not correct. When you can meet. Here's one that's a little bit harder. Where did he go? Where did he go? All right, here's our question. We want to turn that into a noun clause. I wonder, question word, where, now we need the subject, he. I wonder where he, what's the verb? Did and go. Now, you do not need to use did in a noun clause. Did is only when we're creating negative sentences or questions. This is not one of those, okay? So all you need to do is take this verb and put it here, but be careful because you gotta carry the verb tense with it. This is in the past tense, so this needs to be in the past tense. I wonder where he went. Be careful. A lot of people would say, I wonder where did he go, and that's not correct. You want to say, I wonder where he went. One more tricky situation. Now, this whole time I've been telling you, don't put a question mark at the end of a noun clause, even though it has a question word, because it's not a question, it's a statement. Well, sometimes you can put a question mark at the end of a noun clause when the entire sentence is a question. Okay, where did he go? And then you start your sentence like this with a question. This already is question word order. Do you know? That already is a question. Now we can add our noun clause. Do you know where he went? Don't put a period. Now you got to put a question mark because this is question word order. So just watch out for the beginning of a sentence. Is it a question or is it a statement? If it's a statement, you're going to use a period after your noun clause. If it's a question, you're going to use a question mark after your noun clause. Now, the third type of noun clause is used with the words if or whether, and they're used when we want to ask a yes-no question. Here we have 3 yes-no questions. Are you hungry? Yes or no. Can we help? Yes or no. Do you like pie? Yes or no. As you can see, the only answer you can give for these questions are yes or no. They are not information questions. So when we want to ask an indirect question or embed a question into what we're saying, but it's a yes-no question, we're going to use if or whether. So again, we're going to start with I wonder, or I want to know, or I need to know, or I want to understand, okay? I wonder, and then we're going to turn this question into a noun clause, and we're going to start with one of these words. I wonder if, now what's the subject? You. I wonder if you, what's the verb? Are. Now finish it. I wonder if you're hungry. Are you hungry? You don't need a question mark here. It's not a question, it's a statement. You could make it a question. You could say, can you tell me, that's a question, can you tell me if you are hungry? Question mark, that's fine, okay? Now let me tell you something about the words if and whether. If is much more common, especially in speaking, also in writing. Whether is more formal. So if you want to sound more academic and more formal in your writing, you could use the word whether instead of if. So, I wonder whether you are hungry. Now another tip about the word whether is we can add or not to it, okay? So I can say, I wonder whether or not you are hungry. I wonder whether or not you are hungry. But I could also put that or not at the end. I can say, I wonder whether you're hungry or not. You could put it at the end. It doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. But please don't do it with if, okay? I wonder if or not you are hungry. I wonder if you are hungry or not. This actually only works when it's at the end of a sentence, not here, but I feel like it's just so confusing. So I always tell my students, if you're using if, don't use or not. Only use or not with whether. And it isn't necessary, but it is very common to use or not when you're using the word whether. Okay, so let's try this one out. Can I turn my essay in late? I want to know if, let's say we're talking, if, subject, I, verb, can turn my essay in late, period, not a question. I want to know if I could turn my essay in late. More formal would be, I want to know whether I can turn my essay in late. And to add to that, you can say, I want to know whether or not I can turn my essay in late, or I want to know whether I can turn my essay in late or not. All right, last one. Did he call? I want to know if or whether he called or called. It's going to be called because this is did. I want to know if he called, period. Now be careful. Again, that common mistake with noun clauses is also very common with the if and whether noun clauses, because students see, okay, I'm asking a question, so they'll say, if, did he call, like that. They'll take all of that, did he call? I want to know, if did he call? And that's not correct because it's not a question anymore, so you do not need that helping verb for making questions. Instead, you just need the subject and the verb, but make sure the verb is in the correct tense. This is past, so make sure it's past. Those are the three types of noun clauses that exist. There are noun clauses that are used very often in reported speech, but that is a whole other video and topic. I hope this video was helpful for you so you can up your English game and also avoid some of the most common noun clause errors. Bye-bye.
Okay, any questions?
Hi there, everyone. We're going to talk about...
Ada pertanyaan? Is it quite clear? Cukup jelas ya?
Supposed to square.
Iya. Ada yang mau bertanya, disilakan. Oke, saya ingin mengingatkan minggu depan kita kuis ya. Ya, nggak ada yang bertanya, sudah ngantuk semua ini.
Probably I'll just want to make sure so there are some type of noun clause. Is it first using that and if or whether, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's just only two.
The most important things that sometimes we use that or what or if in our noun clause. Okay, let's see another example here. Okay, do you see on the screen the noun clause? Apa bisa terlihat?
It's in.
Yes. Okay, so I know what the answer is. Okay, so if you take a look at this, what the answer is, the answer here is the subject is the predicate. Okay, so the subject is what the answer is here, yeah, with the predicate. And this is the independent clause, I know, and this is the noun clause as the object. Ya, jadi saya ulangi bahwa objek kalimat ini berupa kalimat. Nah, yang perlu Anda catat bahwa apabila ada complex sentence, maka di sana selalu kita jumpai conjunction. Nah, conjunction-nya adalah kata what. Oke, di sini adalah kata what. Oke, kita akan latihan ini sebentar. Do you know who is the governor of Ohio? Nah, Anda lihat di sini, do you know? Kemudian who is the governor of Ohio? Maka noun clause, karena yang dipertanyakan adalah noun clause-nya. Kemudian if the noun clause is the subject of the sentence, write S, ya, subject. If the noun clause is the direct object, write D. Nah, tentu saja ini adalah D, direct object. Oke, jadi ada objek langsung berupa kalimat. Oke. Oke, let's try. Siapa berikutnya ini yang mau mencoba? Number 2, Susan thinks that he will get the job at Martin's store. Nah, ini tentu saja apa ini? Tentu saja direct objects. Ya. Oke, Mr. Rizky, will you try number 3?
Right. Number 3, whoever phones us, let the phone ring long enough. It's the S, I guess. Whoever phoned us, that's the subject.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah, whoever phoned us, this is the subject. Okay, and then number 4, Andy promised and this one must be the objects, direct object, okay? And then number 5, whether or not she should go camping, worried Jane. Oke, coba Arya. Arya Maulana. Oh, sleeping. Bayu Agung. Not active. Fadila. Okay, so that is the subject up to the word camping here. Okay, let's go on. Junet Setiawan. Hello.
Number 6, sir.
Number 6.
Subject.
No, it is direct object.
Oh.
Mr. Sims mentioned that he had be late for the meetings. Yeah, so okay, number 7. Fajar. Hello, Mr. Fajar. Mr. Fajar is sleeping. A bit.
Yes, Misha.
Okay, will you try number 7?
Number 7. Whoever sent us this letter, something is his or her name. No.
Yeah, it is the subject. Yeah, whoever sent us this letter. Yeah, so this one is the subject. Okay. And then number 8, Firman Aulia.
Yes, sir.
Number 8.
Number 8, who your actors well makes no difference to me. Who your actors is direct subject.
Yeah, who your ancestor
Who your ancestor
were, sampai di were. Ya.
Oh, yes,
Jadi
yes, sir.
subjek kalimat itu ada sampai dengan kata were. Oke. Nah, mungkin di sini ada pertanyaan. Ini past tense. Oke. Tapi di sini bentuk present. Bisa menerangkan?
Itu sebagai past tense-nya itu bukan sebagai past tense tapi udah satu kesatuan jadi objek noun, sorry. So who your ancestors were, siapa pendahulumu dulu, nah itu jadi satu kesatuan.
That makes no difference to me, ya. For now, okay, that's good. Jadi ini karena bicara tentang ancestors itu pendahulunya atau moyangnya begitu, maka ini bentuk lampau gitu ya. Nah, tapi ini dihubungkan dengan saat ini makes no difference to me. Ya. Jadi ini tidak omongan yang tidak menganggap keturunan siapa dia. Ya. Okay, the next one, Mr. Barnes swore that he would tell the truth. Ya, ini tentu saja direct objects. Ya, jadi ini ada that. Perhatikan di sini ada kata that. Yang di sini tadi ada who. Jadi ini whoever. Kemudian ada that lagi. Yang jelas bahwa selalu ada conjunction. Ya, itu namanya conjunction, kata penghubung. Oke, coba kita lanjutkan dengan yang ini. Okay, is it true? Yeah. Do you know who is the government of Ohio? Tentu saja ya. Ini jawaban tadi ya. Oke, saya kira tidak sulit. Oke, kita mungkin bisa latihan lebih jauh tentang compound complex sentence. Sorry, adverb clause ya. Yeah, sorry, I open my file. Ya, oke. Sebentar, saya akan. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, you have already known from the native speakers presentation that the adverb can be about the time, about the reasons, and then contrast and conditions. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have also the purpose here. Ya. Jadi kalau tadi kita sudah mendengarkan bahwa keterangan itu yang disajikan tadi hanya 4 bagian saja, yaitu time, kemudian condition, kemudian reasons. Nah, yang kita lihat di sini ada place, ada comparisons, dan manner serta purpose. Ya. Oke, kita lihat saja contohnya. Oke, time here. Oke, by the way, do you see? Anda
Yes,
lihat file?
Yes.
Oke.
Yes, sir.
Kita lihat di sini her goldfish died when she was young. Oke. Anda lihat di sini ada menunjukkan when she was young, itu adalah adverb clause karena di sini menerangkan waktu matinya goldfish. Ya, gitu ya. He came after night had fallen. Nah, after night had fallen ini juga adverb clause. Oke. Yang jelas di sini ada kata after, kemudian kalau tadi ada kata when, gitu ya. Oke, kemudian we barely had gotten there, kemudian ada when mighty Casey struck out. Oke, itu berhubungan dengan time. Kemudian berhubungan dengan conditions, tadi ada kata if dan unless atau list. Ya. If they lose weight during an illness, they should regain it afterwards. Oke, jadi ini kalimat pengandian tipe yang ke-1. Oke. Nah, kita melihat di sini ada kata if sebagai conjunction-nya. Kemudian purpose. Nah, di sini ada purpose yaitu menggunakan so that. Oke, tujuan. Oke. Kemudian reasons menggunakan because. Ya, kalau di depan tadi kita menggunakan kata since. Oke, kemudian ada concessions. I used to read a lot, although I don't get much time for books now. Ya, jadi di sini ada kata although, ya, untuk menggambarkan concessions. Ada though atau while. Nah, ini semuanya bisa diikuti oleh adverb clause. Nah, kemudian place, he said. Nah, Anda perhatikan di sini, he was happy where he was. Ya, jadi adverb clause-nya adalah where he was. Ya, he said he was happy where he was. Okay, the next one comparisons. Ada comparisons. Ada as fluently as his teacher. Ya. Oke, so Anda lihat di sini ada kata SS. Kemudian Anda lihat di sini tidak berupa clause, ya, tetapi berupa frase. Oke. Kemudian manner, ya, ada manner atau cara. I was never allowed to do things as I wanted to do them. Oke, jadi di sini menggambarkan manner, jadi atau cara. Kemudian result menggunakan kata so. Ya, ini seperti kalimat dalam compound sentence. Hanya saja ini harus digabung dengan kata that. Oke, my suitcase had become so damaged that the lid would not stay closed. Oke, jadi itu gambaran bahwa adverb clause ini tidak hanya 4 saja tadi, tetapi ada lebih dari 4. Ya. Oke, ada pertanyaan barangkali?
There's one from the chat, so from the chat.
Oh,
one
yes,
question.
from the chat, sorry. So can I ask for word or maybe the video in today? Okay, what is the question here?
Maybe he mentioned about the document that you were presenting right now.
Oh, I see. How can I send you?
You may send it via WhatsApp, my WhatsApp, so I will send it to them.
Okay, so I would like to send to your WhatsApp then, yeah. Okay, so but is it possible to send the video via the chat? I think the video has great
Limit.
memory. Yeah.
Well, maybe just this document first.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
probably from the last ESL, you know, the love my ESL, I guess that's enough to understand the adverb and stuff.
All the adverbs. Okay, so I would like to send all the video dealing with the. Actually, the video taken from YouTube. Yeah, I think you can open it by yourselves. So it is not necessary to send via the WhatsApp because it is open, I think, in the YouTube. But if you want, yeah, I can do it. Okay, I think that's all maybe for today. Is there any question about this? Okay, so this is a part of the adverb clause. Yeah, remember that when we are talking about clause, we always use conjunctions. Yeah, okay, the conjunction like this is once, until, by the times, and so on. So the conjunction is always what's it used to connect between the independent and dependent clauses. Okay, thank you very much for your coming in this virtual rooms. Ada yang belum absen?
Two, sir. There are two college students that ada dua yang belum absen ini. I'll send you the list of the students, right? After. Jadi ada dua di sini, Sandi Bagus I sama Dwiki Angker Amin. Nggak sempat absen katanya. But mereka ada apa? Katanya udah tertutup.
Yeah. You know that I do not have any power, yeah, how to manage the attendance list in the system. So if you are late or maybe you forget to do the attendance, to press the attendance, please contact to Pak Maturip in PAK. Ya. Jadi bagi Anda yang lupa absen mungkin minggu kemarin, silakan menghubungi BAK ke Pak Maturip, ceritakan bahwa kamu hadir gitu ya, cuman lupa tidak absen mungkin begitu ya. Ya, saya tidak bisa membuka sistem ya. Jadi mohon maaf saya tidak bisa mengotak-atik MIS ya. Manajemen Information System saya tidak bisa ya. Jadi untuk itu silakan yang lupa absen Anda menghubungi Pak Maturip di BAK. Oke, ada pertanyaan lain? Ya, kalau tidak ada, saya cukupkan sekian. Thank you very much. Saya ingatkan, minggu depan kita quiz. Ya, jadi bagi yang nggak bisa, mungkin akan saya beri waktu malam. Ya. Bagi yang bisa, ya waktunya untuk quiz tentang clause, gitu ya. Oke, jadi tentang adverb clause, adjective clause, dan non clause. Nah, karena itu saya ingin memastikan Anda sudah bisa, gitu ya. Siapa yang belum bisa tentang clauses ini? Oke, tidak ada yang sudah tidak bisa, semuanya sudah bisa, berarti sudah siap untuk latihan ya. Oke, see you next week. Thank you very much for your coming. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.